thank you very much. I would like to say some remarks and thoughts about SMW in the relation of OpenData, OpenGLAM, linked data, and the Semantic Web. You have seen this yesterday if you were here. Just very briefly, the company I work for is the Center for Public Administration Research in Vienna, just across the street, so not in this building, but across the street situated. We are doing modernization projects for public sector, usually organizational and financial topics more than IT topics, but still. I'm also part of the Open Knowledge Foundation, the Austrian chapter. There are chapters in in many countries, and I'm one of the founders of the Austrian chapter. We also have the School of Data that handles the problem of how can we educate people in this data world using open data that's around. And we have an OpenGLAM working group. For those of you who don't know, GLAM means galleries, libraries, archives, and museums. So opening up digitally what's inside galleries or archives and libraries and museums is the topic of this working group. And of course, I'm a Semantic MediaWiki enthusiast. I've been using it for a long time, since version 0.9 or something. And I'm the local and general chair of this conference, as you all know. I'd like to say some words to SMW and its relevance today. I'm interested in if you agree or if there are other opinions on that. Some thoughts on SMW as a producer of open data, maybe also of linked open data, or on the other way around, also SMW as a platform for consuming open data, and some concluding remarks. Well, the original idea, you probably have seen this slide, is by Markus Krötsch and others. The original idea of SMW was to make Wikipedia machine readable, so make the data that is inside and typical article available to the computer, and then also queryable and exportable. This was the original idea. It didn't evolve this way, because on Wikipedia today we don't have SMW, we have MediaWiki without this extension. Things turned out differently. So what's about wikis and data in 2014? There is one big project that's called DBpedia. It's about extracting the structured information that lies in Wikipedia articles. You all know these fact boxes about cities, about countries, about persons on the right side of Wikipedia articles. As far as I know, DBpedia scans these fact boxes and stores this data on a database that can be queried. This has been in place for several years. WikiData will be presented at this conference, so I don't have to say much about it. WikiData took basically the idea of SMW and some of the core developers also, and made a system for central storage for data that can be used in Wikipedia instances. So this is targeted especially for Wikipedia. And the question is SMW still relevant today? Because we have these other two projects, and I strongly believe it is, because it lets you store and query data within your wiki pages. So even if it didn't turn out to be the engine that runs Wikipedia in 2014, it runs your wikis, and many of us are here who have their own wikis inside organizations or out on the web. So SMW, I believe, has a strong relevance here. I'm not so sure actually, but I'll hand this question over to the talk about WikiData. If WikiData and DBpedia, how this relation is, will DBpedia still be relevant in 5 years? I don't know. I'm interested in opinions here. But they have different approaches. So what Semantic MediaWiki still brings us and will bring us in the next years is for wiki applications inside of organizations and also on the web, for every wiki application outside of Wikipedia. It brings us the strength of MediaWiki in combination with this strength of structured data, of semantic data, of online forms. There are many other extensions around Semantic MediaWiki. So there is, as we had the slogan, it's a full-fledged knowledge management system, and I think we can really say that it is. It's a strong community. It's not as big as many other open source communities, but I think it's a very nice community. I've had experiences also with other open source communities that were not so nice and not so responsive. So this is also the place to say thank you. Thank you for to the developers. Thank you to all the people who test, who answer questions, who run the community sites. You can see here all around the world we have people using SMW, writing code for it, and all of these things that need to be done. But I still think the keynote was very appropriate for us, because there were many thoughts inside that we might miss, and we have time the next 2 days maybe to discuss what can be improved still. But it's a great community, and I think it's very nice to be part of it. So what's one of the benefits is SMW sites, powered sites, are a producer of open data, and it's really easy. Once again, here is a picture of the Vienna History Wiki that was released 2 weeks ago. It looks like a regular wiki entry with this fact box, but this fact box is not just the text fact box that would need something like DBpedia to store this in a database, but this is provided by SMW, and of course this data, as you know, is available within the wiki for querying and also for exporting. So we have a smart wiki. We have something that we cannot do on Wikipedia. We can say, I want to list all pages of the category person with birth year 1856 and of sex male, and you get a list that can be configured. That's using semantic forms also, so this querying forms can be configured to your needs. That's the internal use on the wiki itself. You have, as you all know, many different result formats, so you can, if you have time-based data, if you have geographical data, if you whatever kind of data you have, there is a lot of different things that can be done, and sometimes, as we showed yesterday in the tutorial, it's quite easy. You have just to, in your ask argument, say format is table or format is CSV, and that's all you have to do in order to get a different format. So that's a quite good feature set, I would say. And the RDF export, you don't even have to think about it. You know, the Vienna History Wiki was not in its intention in the first place a Semantic Web project. Nobody thought of Semantic Web. It was a project digitizing 6 hard copy encyclopedias in a wiki that is run by the Vienna archives. There's going to be a talk about this in detail tomorrow, so you're going to hear about this. And because we use SMW, this comes for free. We have RDF, so we now can put this in the, and there are plans in doing so. We can put the data from the wiki in the Open Data portal of the City of Vienna. City of Vienna was one of the first cities in the German-speaking area to have their own open data catalog. So this data can just be put there. And it can also be used for linked data, because if someone else has information about Sigmund Freud out there in the linked open data cloud, they can reference also to here. So this is what linked open data is about. It's about cross-referencing facts across the web in a that's what Semantic Web is all about. Interesting for me, because I work mostly in the public sector, is that there are many government sources also, Eurostat and others. And one of the core, you cannot read it maybe from the back, but one of the core items is and always has been DBpedia, of course, because it extracts the facts from Wikipedia. So I'm wondering, will WikiData be the replacement of this, or will they coexist, or what is the relation here? I don't know. Maybe we can ask this later. So this is the linked open data cloud. It's huge. Some years ago, this was tiny compared to that. So Semantic Web is actually happening. It's not a research fantasy, but it's reality. And with Semantic MediaWiki installation, you can become part of this very easily. SMW can also be used not only to produce open data or to release data of your wiki to the web, but you can also consume open data with it. For those of you who do not know, unfortunately, the programmer Jaron, who many of you know, cannot be here in Vienna at this SMWCon, but greetings to him. There's this external data extension, among many others, that he maintains and writes, and this external data extension can, with some parser functions, retrieve data from the outside, from CSV files, JSON files, XML, into your wiki, also via SOAP requests or files, or even retrieves data from databases. So if you want to consume data in your wiki that is already stored somewhere else, you can look at this extension, and it's quite easy to set up. What I tried out and what worked out quite well is there are in the Vienna Open Data catalog, there is the names and of the symmetries in Vienna is published in this Open Data catalog. In a JSON file, and you can, with this extension, reuse it in a wiki, either display it or also import it, so you can query it also inside the wiki. So that's a very powerful thing. And there are result formats where you can display external data. So there's a lot of potential a lot of possibilities of handling external data within a SMW instance. This brought to the this is a masterpiece. Unfortunately, not by me, but you have to look this up. This is an SMW consuming data from New York City. It's called Pedia Cities, and it's just amazing. It's amazing also from the visual viewpoint. I don't know what they did with the skinning. It's just perfect, and it consumes a massive amount of data from the New York Open Data portal with more than 2,000 data sets, and this is one of the best showcases I know of SMW. So check this out, and yeah, Pedia Cities is really a great project. So maybe some conclusions. As you all know, I think it's a very great tool. I don't want to stress again, because I've mentioned some of them, all the benefits it has. There are some weaknesses I'd like to address. We all know there are hardly any good usable skins. We all have this problem of skinning, but Stefan Gamke is working on this one. If you haven't checked this one out, it's using the Twitter Bootstrap. So this might be something worth investigating in. It's not as easy for a non-CSS guy like me, but it looks quite promising. We have no what you see is what you get editor yet. There was the promise of the visual editor. I remember last year in Berlin we said, well, in 1 year we're going to have it. It's not quite there yet. And I'm not so sure if it's going to solve our problems in an SMW context, but we'll see. So it takes obviously more time than we expected. The problem of no access control, there is another talk. I'm very happy to have Wojtek around. He made a promise last year and he kept to it. Thank you. I'm very looking forward to that. Even if I believe that I don't actually want to use this extension a lot because I don't believe in the necessity of access control, but the clients want to have it, and if we can fulfill this requirement, they are happy, and we can convince them you don't need it, but if you absolutely have to, you can have it, you know. So this is an important thing. Also, I talked about this in Berlin. We have no really this possibility of crowdfunding or combined marketing efforts addressed now also in the keynote. I think this is something we should improve. There is a very reactive mailing list, so you can write, well, I need this fixed, who would do it, I have some budget, and some people would react, but that's only the beginning of something, I think. We have some dead extensions. Okay, that's quite natural, but there are some dead extensions that are actually quite interesting. So I encourage also newcomers of SMW to look into these, and there might be something that you just need to revive. Some bugs don't get fixed. Okay, well, that's also something that every open source community has. And of course, there are limitations for very complex data structures. I mean, we talked about yesterday, we have semantic internal objects, but even there, if you have really big data with very complex tables, SMW might not be the tool of choice. So my conclusion, and I'd like to discuss this during the next breaks or the next days with you. SMW is still not very well known. I mean, this is also an effort why we do these conferences, and we try to do a little bit. But I meet very many people say SMW I've never heard of. So even if they have knowledge about MediaWiki. Project references are important. They lead to further use cases. If people see what can be done, they like it, and they get the idea, and they immediately see the benefits, but you have to showcase them something. We talked about this yesterday a little bit. Wikis are often niche products, and sometimes the potential of SMW becoming a strategic platform, for example, inside an organizational IT aspect, is not realized, but maybe we will get there one day. Access control is always requested, even if I don't think it's always needed. Yeah, it's not just a Semantic Web project anymore. I also have talked about the OpenGLAM aspect. I think it has the potential of becoming the OpenGLAM tool. What other tool would you recommend to GLAM institution if they want to publish their data on the web? I don't know. So this is the tool of choice, I think. So I see a lot of more future potential, and yeah, this we don't have a donate button, for example, you know, because there is an organization, but this organization only wants to do the SMW cons. So if we can't offer organizations a donate button, you know, we are doing something wrong. There should be a donate button. So maybe we can talk about this. So yeah, thank you for coming to Vienna. I hope I could have I could share some ideas with you, and due to the time, maybe we have discussion later, or Franz, it's up to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there some points of discussion, or are there any questions? Everybody's satisfied with what he said. So
everybody agrees?
Really? Okay. Yeah.
Just one question about because you were saying that. Oh, sorry. You were saying about the basic idea was that the Semantic MediaWiki makes data information readable in the wiki, but it didn't get so far. Can you a little bit expand on that point? I mean, machine-to-machine interface thingy, or?
No. The basic idea was really to bring this technology into Wikipedia. So bring Wikipedia to use this software, and this didn't turn out. I think there were some performance issues. I don't know that in detail. But the concept of Wikipedia needing something like data management was taken up by WikiData. So, but for a different approach, I think they even reused software components. But the original idea, SMW becoming a default extension on Wikipedia sites, never happened. Yeah. So this was what I meant.